Coach, tell
Yeah.
us about Chase Young. You've watched his film. He's
Yeah.
from where you're from. What do you know
Yeah.
about Chase Young?
Well, Chase Young is a kid out of Oxon Hill, Maryland. He's born in 99. He went to all right, so he's a private school kid. He's coming out of a league out here called the WCAC, the Washington Catholic Athletic Conference. And he played 2 years at a high school out of Pilati. Just a bright kid, played the violin, sings in choir. But he was like a little bit of an Iron Man in football. He played quarterback, played D end, played everything, right? He was kind of like their guy. He got picked up by a bigger school, DeMatha Catholic High School, Go Stags, my little brother's alumni. And he played 2 years at DeMatha where he blossomed, right? 19 sacks, tackles for loss, and he became like a hometown product. So once he goes there, he gets invited to a couple of Nike camps, and then Ohio State comes knocking. He becomes a household kid, and you just know how it is. Once you get a good kid from an area with the platform, everybody pushes him. We all want Chase to make it. Chase ends up going to Ohio State, and the rest is history. So what we do know is him coming into college. I mean, him coming out of college, coming in, they tried to shoehorn in this Nick Bosa kind of archetype deal because they played together, but he's not Nick Bosa. All right. Even coming out of college, he wasn't as technical as Nick. He wasn't as strong as Nick, wasn't as dynamic as Nick. What he does have is he has a lot of raw skills, good first step, great size, can get inside with the quickness. He has a lot of unique skill set. He's very long. Okay. Plays with a lot of tenacity. So he gets drafted to Washington, goes to Washington, and immediately, you still there, Grant? He goes to Washington and immediately becomes the guy, right? Comes in, and as far as the NFL is concerned, he's basically their tip of the spear, their Nick Bosa, right? As he gets drafted there, he has a little bit of an issue with being. You good, Grant?
What happened?
You got off the screen. It was just me on the screen.
I was here the whole time. I don't know what you're talking about. I was here. I was right here.
Oh, okay, you good. So at the time in Washington, he gets injured. Let's fast forward. He gets injured and hurts his knee. And the issue with him is that he's a hometown kid playing in a pro team and didn't understand the difference between the professional side of football and being a hometown hero. His parents are very entitled, like call up to the radio station type entitled, right? And he just didn't produce, right? As he hurt his knee, there was speculation about how he re-injured his knee during rehab, coming back for him, I think his third year, whether he was playing basketball or got hurt training outside of the facility, and that was a big deal. He's had issues back and forth with the organization where they've had issues with his maturity. They've had issues with how he conducts himself during games, work ethic, right? Those type of things. And really, these are the type of things that when you have a number 2 overall pick, you keep this stuff under wraps. But when you got the pulse of the city and you hear, everybody kind of sees it, right? Chase ain't doing what he's supposed to be doing, right? And everybody talks. So what I've seen on film is exactly what I just talked about. He's uninspired. He has a lot of good traits, all right? He still has that first step, but he's a little bit gun shy as to how dynamic he used to be when he first came out of college, because he is still coming back from that knee injury. He's almost a full year off of the knee injury now, but he does need a change of scenery. Now, I'm being nice to him because I watched one game of him in Atlanta, and he left a lot to be desired. He flashed, almost kind of disrespectful to the game, meaning that he knows he can make plays when he wants to, but when he's not interested or the ball's not quote unquote on his side of the field, you don't really get that much out of him. And the thing about it is that it just sticks out like a sore thumb because he looks so great in his pads. So when you see big 99 trotting on the field, it looks disgusting, right? You expect to see him being a Terminator at all times, and you just haven't been seeing that in Washington. Now,
this is why Washington gave away for a late third.
Definitely. On top of it is that Washington is their ship is righted by Martin Mayhew, which right from our organization. And Washington has built their team in the ire of the 49ers. They have first round picks up and down their D line. So this isn't even a situation where you're getting a second overall pick, and you're saying to yourself, almost kind of like a Arden Key situation or a Cleveland Farrell, where he wasn't playing with that many talented guys, and maybe they put too much on his plate. They were asking him to do too much. Oh, no. This kid played with Montez Sweat, Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, Philandro Mathis. Like this kid has played with some dogs. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So for his production to be not up to snuff, there is a reason why we got him. Right. So the compensation notwithstanding, I'm not mad at the pick. If he leaves, we don't sign him, we get our pick back. It's not a big deal. But there's a reason why he's here. And some of that stuff can be coached out of him, right? Because you get in a new environment, and you get encouraged to play your best, do your best, because you know that there's no excuse. So that's kind of where I see him. All in all, I see him as a strong depth piece. I mean, it's amazing that we let go of Willis, Aminihu, Ebukam, all on the line just to go back and go trade for Gregory and now Chase Young. So we're really just trying to re-up the depth that we lost over the offseason on our D line. And really, I think that we kind of have like more upgraded backup guys, right? Or at least getting Chase out here for 20 snaps a game optimally. Best case scenario, getting Chase on the field for us in packages during pass down so he can just pin his ears back and go get the quarterback. But in the run game, sorry.
Keep going.
Oh, in the run game, he's talented, but he doesn't have will. He doesn't have will there. And in the pass game, he's very talented, but he's limited. He doesn't have a lot of moves. His bull rush really isn't that strong. And you do see him he's way too big to use as many finesse moves as he does. Like, he doesn't like to use his power as much, which kind of leans on he may be still nursing on that knee.
Sounds like he's kind of similar to Randy Gregory, guy who's, very talented, got quickness, explosion, length, size, but also maturity questions, injury questions, hasn't produced a ton. And it's like Niner fans think they definitely won the trade easily.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't think the Commanders care that they lost Chase Young. I think they're probably thinking, good luck with Chase. We tried for 4 years.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think that's exactly how they feel about him. And for us, I want us to ingest him the same way. This is a good depth piece, possibly a starter if, something catches fire, but by no means is this kid going to be raking us over the coals for a big time contract unless he completely turns it around, which I haven't seen thus far. So he's going to be a good depth piece. He's going to look good in his pads, but he's got to show and prove.